Hi friends, Owen Locke here from Locke & Co. Distilling. My good friend Aspen from Ballmer Peak. We're going to talk to you a little about a collaboration we've done with one of their gins.
Yeah, so this is our Outback Aspen gin. We start by taking our core gin, which is Australia inspired.
Yeah, so walk me through that a little bit. What makes it Australia inspired?
Yeah, so I lived in Australia for about 18 months,
right.
and used that as an excuse to kind of taste different alcohols around the country. And
Twist my arm.
yeah,
make this trip happen. Yeah.
Market research.
Yep.
And discovered that they had a lot of unique botanicals and flavors that they were incorporating into their gins.
Okay.
And so we take botanicals and flavors from Australia, like eucalyptus, lemon myrtle, finger lime, Tasmanian pepperberries, stuff that can be challenging to get in the States.
I bet.
And then we put our blend together into a gin basket that sits atop our column still.
That makes sense.
And so we use a molasses-based fermentation that we distill twice through the pot still, and then charge the column and distill it through those botanicals and spices.
Okay, so on that second distillation.
Yeah.
Basket, gotcha. Makes total sense.
So that's where then those essential oils and those flavors are extracted from those botanicals, and it comes off the still clear.
Right.
We run it about 185 proof coming off the still, so we can get kind of a little bit of that molasses base, but let those botanicals shine forward.
Through. That makes sense. Strip all those botanicals as much as you can.
Yeah,
during that process.
yeah, and we also are trying to minimize the juniper profile.
Gotcha.
Gin can be a very off-putting spirit to a lot of people because they had some kind of bad experience in their past.
We hear that a lot, like, I can't drink this or that, there was one bad night in college or whatever, so it's nice to have these different variations, because you'll get people coming back like, oh, that's not what my experience was, that's actually really different. Now they kind of get re-exposed to that spirit. So I think that's really smart with having a little bit of juniper in there and kind of doing something totally different and unique out there. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that's where things start. And then you provide us with those rye-soaked charred Aspen discs.
That's right. So we got a little beverage dispenser here. You might see these around town, but this is a big chunk of aspen wood, a disc, that we use to float in our whiskey that we've given to Austin here to finish his gin with. So this aged our rye whiskey for at least 8 months, saved that, and we gave a bunch to Austin to finish his gin with. So it's going to give it a little more color, some of that rye spice is going to show through, maybe a little cinnamon, light brown sugar from that rye and that aspen in there.
Yeah,
but
it really transforms the gin, and we get the discs still dripping with the rye, so they're like, you know, we open the container and just get the lovely fumes of that fresh rye whiskey, and just put them in with our overproof gin for about, I'd say, at least a month on average.
Okay.
And then it gets all that color, gets a lot of that rye flavor, some spice, some peppery notes, and really transforms our spirit into something that is a lot more suitable for a kind of spirit-forward cocktail.
That makes a lot of sense, and a lot of, I'm sure, bourbon drinkers, rye drinkers, whiskey, maybe even tequila drinkers would gravitate towards that gin because of that extra wood aging. And that makes sense. You're only using it for about a month, because when we cross-cut that aspen wood, we're going kind of with the cell structure, so like the end grain of the tree, so you don't need to use it for that long. So that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. I know this has been on the shelf for a little bit. What proof is this at?
This is at 46% or 92 proof.
Yep.
So it is a little more robust than the rest of our products.
Holds up in the cocktail grade.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the intent. This is kind of more designed towards people trying to make more interesting cocktails.
Well, I've had this before, but I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Perfect. Oh, that strong botanical up front.
Yeah, like floral, a little mint from that eucalyptus.
Yep, that eucalyptus, that's a great point. Yeah, it definitely like wakes you, it's like, whew, that great fresh feeling. Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like biting into a fresh piece of fruit almost, like that citrus
totally.
note.
It's crisp on the nose. It's not burning, you know, there's not a very ethanol forward.
No. Oh, that's that's butter.
So yeah, we get a lot of people that come in and say that they didn't know they could drink gin on the rocks.
Right,
or
right,
neat.
right.
before trying our gins.
You get the great botanical. There is a little spice note in
Yeah.
there, a little sweetness from that aspen wood, but so well balanced.
Yeah,
There's
thanks.
not like a peak and a valley. It's just nice and round.
Yeah.
I can see that going great in cocktails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot
And
of fun.
by itself, right, as we were saying. Well,
Yeah.
cheers, good sir.
Cheers.
Cheers.